Okay, hello everyone. Um, please download the two images I sent you via email. So there are two images, one abstract bg.jpg and portrait.jpg. So if you don't have any experience with Photoshop, that's fine. So this is a kind of a practice. So I want you to open those two images in Photoshop first. So select those two by holding down the shift key, click both, and then in order to open this in Photoshop, hold down the option in Mac and hold down the Alt key in PC or the right click and open with Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop. And it will open two files in Photoshop. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do really simple things. Here's a guy. And then we're going to just change, we're going to the clip, this person, this man, and we're going to delete the background and we will replace it with this abstract background. So it's really simple. Okay, so let's do this. So once you open Photoshop file like this, you're going to see this layers panel. If you do not see this layers panel, it is under Windows menu and choose the layers. Okay, and the concept of layers is you can have multiple layers and you can stacking and you can change the order. Okay, so first, this is the one image and it is called a background layer and it is locked. So I'm going to unlock it first by clicking this lock. So it is unlocked. Now the name is changed to the layer 0. Okay, so the plan is I'm going to clip this guy around the outline of him and then delete the background. So there are a lot of different ways, but let's try this way. Since you may not be able to use the pen tool, why don't we use this eraser tool? So choose the eraser. Okay. Once you choose the eraser tool, you can see that some options. You can control the size. You can have soften edges. Okay. So we're going to play with that. Okay. And the size. Okay. So I'm going to set up to maybe for now maybe 50 or 50 somewhere around there. And then place your mouse cursor on your background and just keep pressing your mouse button and drag it, rub it. So once you see that kind of a checkboard things, so that means there's a transparent background. Okay. And then there are several details. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my the zoom tool, magnifying glass, and let me zoom in. If you want to zoom out, hold down the option on Mac and hold down the Alt key on PC, and you can zoom out. Zoom in, zoom out. Okay, and then with this hand tool, I can move around. Okay, so first, let me just erase the background. Okay, so this is kind of a first practice of Photoshop, and then we're not going to, oh, that's another kind of a shortcut. When you hold down, once you hold down the space bar, then it changes to hands tool. So no matter what tools you're using, it will change to the hand tool. So it's a kind of a good time saver. Okay, and then let me do this. So you don't have to erase it at a time at once. Okay, so you can just erase it little by little. If you made a mistake like this, you can undo it. Command Z or Control Z on PC. Just keep erasing. Okay, and then as you can see that my brush is kind of too big, so I'm going to change the brush size, like a small one. Okay, we are not going to have really kind of detailed clipping, so don't worry about that. Okay, let me make it bigger again so I can erase more faster. There are a lot of different ways of clipping or tracing the outline. Even we can trace the the kind of animal's hair. I'm gonna make it smaller again. Do this. Okay. So it's not gonna be really fine kind of a clipping, but it's okay. So the main purpose, main goal of this, the first project we're gonna do is I want you to have fun and getting familiar with this Photoshop. Photoshop is the kind of as you know that it's one of the leading and the most famous and popular image retouching program by Adobe company. Let me make it bigger again a little bit. Yep. So it doesn't have to be super accurate. So with this eraser tool, you can get rid of your background. I'm going to show you another way of doing it as we go further. Not today, but this is what we're doing. Alrighty. So it's not super clean and super accurate, but which is okay. Okay, now I'm going to now bring this background image to this one. So let me try this way. So let me choose my abstract BG background image, and then go to select menu, select all, and go to edit. You see that kind of a wiggly jiggly things, meaning that's your selection. Then go to edit menu and copy. So this selected area is copied. Now go back to your portrait and edit and paste. So this happens. Automatically when you paste something, then that new copied object or images will be pasted on top of your current layer. So that's why we have that on top. But we can change the order anytime. So layer 1 is my background. It is supposed to be under this portrait. So keep pressing your mouse button and grab it and drag it down. So this happens. Now, layer 1 is kind of a little bit bigger image than this portrait. So I'm going to move around. Choose this move tool. Make sure your layer 1 is selected. Place your mouse cursor on your background and move it. See? So you can place somewhere, maybe like this. And then maybe you may not be happy with this kind of a little white, not clean outline things around this guy. Then select that layer, zoom in. I may choose my eraser tool again, maybe even smaller size. And then make sure on this layer 0 top layer, and you can have a little bit better touch, finer touches, something like that. Okay. Or if you open this, you the eraser tool option. Let me change this hardness to 0. What's gonna happen is, oops, sorry, 0 or 100. Let me make it bigger. 100. Let me do it. You can see that. See, it's kind of really sharp edges. If I keep this down to 0, soften edges. So you can see the difference. Okay. Let me zoom out, hold down the option. So I think it's okay. Another thing you can play with is select your background layer like this. Then go to filter, for example. Why don't we try this like a filter gallery, and let's see what we can do. There are several options. Cutout, neon glow, palette knife, paint, film, plastic wrap. And then for each one, you can each selection has some kind of different choice variations. You can play with this slide bar and you can see the difference. Or dry brush, anything, or fresco. I like that. Then once you're happy with that, you can still play with it and say okay. See? If you're not happy with that, you can always undo it. Command Z. If you want to redo it, you want to go back to the edit menu and redo filter gallery. So we can go back and forth. Okay, so just play with this type of, it doesn't have to be this image, but since I emailed you, so use that. And then you may download different images for your background, or you may use your images from your phone, the photo you took. So anything's fine. Play with it. Okay. And then also each layer, we have 2 layers now. Okay. But if you want, you can have multiple copies of each layer. So layer 0 is here, which is this guy. And then see that kind of looks, we call the hamburger button or sandwich button. There are like 3 or 4 bars here. This is a drop down menu. Click on it and you can duplicate it. You can have another copy of that. And by using this move tool, top layer, keep pressing, grab the photo, and you can move around. Okay. If you're not happy with that, undo it. Command Z. Okay, so just to play with it, and then you can try. I strongly recommend you to play with these filter gallery things here, Lookify and 3D filter, blur. There are a lot of things we can try. There are a lot of fun stuff under stylize, emboss, for example, like that. Okay, so practice with this image, and or you can use your selfie, and then go to filter, play with that. Uh, Different type of filters. Another thing you can try is, let me select my layers, 0, under images menu and adjustment. Okay, for example, hue and saturation, or let me try the brightness and contrast. Brighter, more contrast, or darker, less contrast. So you can play with it. Okay, so change the background and then play with the filter or image adjustment, these two things. Okay, excuse me. And then next time we're going to use your actual selfie, your portrait. So the after this, the very first project will be what is that? I forgot the word. The selfie project, and we're going to animate it in Photoshop. Okay. If you have any questions, any concerns, or any problems with the Photoshop, just let me know anytime. Okay, so see you next time.